Season 2 Reloaded is coming this week, and tomorrow we're likely going to be getting a bit more insight, likely what I would guess like a trailer or a blog post detailing a little bit further before we jump into the week ahead and the updates here for the seasonal update. But today I want to take a look at a few things that were some additional changes that have already been detailed for this week and the Season 2 Reloaded update. So as we go along, drop your thoughts on what changes you're liking the sound of or what you're hoping to see that hasn't been announced just yet. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. Finally, this video is brought to you in part by my friends over at ApexGamingPCs, but more on them in a bit. So with that said, let's jump into the discussion at hand about these bigger changes upcoming that Infinity Ward has already detailed. Firstly, to start out with a discussion on weapon tuning. That's something that we kind of assumed would be happening. We see most weapon tuning happening at the seasonal update and then the mid-season or the Reloaded update every single season. Now, personally, I'd love to see more updates here beyond just 2 updates every single season, but it was detailed by Infinity Ward that Season 2 Reloaded will include several global weapon balances, including damage reduction to the KV broadside and the Dragon's Breath rounds. Our full patch notes with these changes and more will be published on 3/15, March 15th, shortly before the update is live. Stay tuned. So that's our first confirmation here of a larger change upcoming. The KV broadside, especially in the Warzone department, is something that is right now pretty problematic. Of course, if you are somebody that plays medium to long range, you're probably not going to notice too much of the KV broadside, but if you play anything like a Sheikah Island where you're going to see a lot more close quarters encounters, within that certain close quarters range, you cannot escape it, and it's something that is a quite literally 2-shot, if I'm not mistaken here, in regards to a down and then complete elimination. So it's something that takes some of the most hardcore shotgun metas that we've seen before and then kind of amps it up a little bit more. It's obviously been an issue since the Season 2 launch. It is something that players found out relatively quickly. We've talked about it here on the channel, and it is something that does, of course, look to have now some adjustments to the overall damage, but also the attachment in question of the Dragon's Breath, which makes it, again, a little bit more deadly. Now, beyond that, we will see additional weapon tuning, as mentioned, but I gotta say, I do think it's a little bit frustrating that we see the one-shot snipers nerfed within a singular day window, 24-hour span, but KV has been problematic in those close range fights since the season began, and we haven't had a single weapon tuning pass for that yet. Am I happy that it's going to be happening? Yes, but at the same time, I personally don't understand the immediacy to change something that really wasn't too problematic, but players actually enjoyed versus something that has been a problem since day 1 of Season 2. But anyways, that's just me. Moving along, the next thing that Infinity Ward detailed was some audio changes that would be coming with Season 2 Reloaded. They stated Season 2 Reloaded will include audio updates for submix fixes that were affecting enemy footstep volume, as well as equalized sand footsteps to better cut through the mix similar to dirt and concrete. PC users will have an audio update allowing users to select stereo or surround outputs. This option will default to stereo if not set. We've been investigating clips which appear to only include the front left and right channels when their output on some PCs may default to surround, resulting in missing channels of audio. Read more on these updates and others in our upcoming patch notes for Season 2 Reloaded on March 15th. So again, a nice change here that does actually look to have some weight behind it. Obviously, when you consider that you'd actually be missing audio channels, that's a very much needed fix here to be coming for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. But the one thing this does not touch on, and I'd be curious to see, is if there's anything coming to combat loudness equalization, because that's something that I'm sure that you have at least heard of. Truth be told, I'm not the most insightful into how it all works. All I know is that my Go XLR and interface that I have on my PC for my audio settings don't have the ability to use it, from my understanding, but from what I've seen, it is a Windows-specific thing, so that's 2 parts in it of itself. One, it's a PC-only advantage, like a true advantage that you hear everything. But additionally, number 2, it's something that's a genuine system setting, so I don't know how a game would combat that if it could at all, since it is a system-level adjustment. But that's definitely something I'd be curious to see, because this all amounts to major advantages right now, at least. One thing that you'll probably see if you play ranked and competitive is the discussion around this, and even pro players are talking about this, how it's something that in online matches, absolutely players are using it, but of course, it's not available on LAN at majors and everything like that, but it's a huge talking point right now, and rightfully so. So I'd be curious to see if anything is done about this, if it even can be. Now, beyond that, the next thing that was officially mentioned was actually from Raven, where they stated with the Season 2 Reloaded update, the bomb drone will be disabled in Warzone 2 Battle Royale while we explore additional balance options for the kill streak. The patch notes with these changes and more will be published on March 15th, shortly before the update is live. Stay tuned. Now, definitely nice to see that, because I've seen plenty of clips where people have had their games absolutely ruined by something that I personally don't think should be in the game. I would be totally fine with it not coming back, but I mean, it seems like they want to put it in there for whatever reason, but that is going to be a major piece of the gameplay loop, I think, for at least, again, the gameplays I've seen taken out of the Battle Royale aspect for Ashika Island, and then, of course, Al Mazrah as well. Now, before we move on, I want to let you know about my friends over at Apex Gaming PCs, performance build company here that I've been working with the last few months. If you've seen the videos, you've seen the gameplay and the just absolute incredible performance of my rig and what they're capable of. Whether you want to go overkill like me and have a 4090 powering your gaming and workstation, making renders and edits a breeze, pushing 200 plus FPS at 4K ultra res, or just something more basic like a starter PC, they've got you covered with the best hardware and service, everything you could want. If you'd like to head over to the link in the description below and learn more, they've got a few custom tailored built systems for the community already built there that can either be fully customized or purchased as is to make the process as simple as possible. Additionally, if you use code ESPRESSO, that'll net you a few hundred off your next order, so check the link in the description below if you're at all interested to learn more about Apex Gaming PCs or pick up something for yourself, and thanks to Apex Gaming PCs for sponsoring this video. But that said, let's get back to the regularly scheduled content. Now, of course, those aren't going to be the only things here that we end up seeing changing with Season 2 Reloaded, of course, beyond all the content that we've talked about here before and that we'll detail in an Everything You Need to Know video here upcoming, I think tomorrow or Tuesday we have it scheduled, but we'll also see a ton of different additional changes and fixes to expect. Obviously, things like multiplayer, ranked play still has some things here that's being ironed out. They did end up issuing updates to fix or combat at least a little bit of disconnects and suspensions and visual bugs that suggest that all SR has been reset, but those still persist on a little bit. I just recently had the SR bug where it showcased that I was back down to bronze 1 or 3, whatever the last one is. Multiplayer still should be getting some further camo fixes, further stability for frame rate when changing attachments mid-kill cam. Prisoner rescue spawns on Tarak have recently been added to the Trello board. For Warzone, of course, we have a bunch of other things that are still in the works. Battle Rage and Dead Silence still has to be reintroduced here with fixes created for them. Equipment XP should be returning here as this update for flashes, stuns, stims, shock sticks, smokes, and suppression mines. Bird's Eye is something that we'll see if it is added in with Season 2 Reloaded, but there is a mentioned rework coming to the perks at some point going forward. Bird's Eye, of course, being a main focus of that because of how broken it was before. For those that were unaware, Bird's Eye, whenever you equip the default perk package before Season 2 Reloaded, it's actually been disabled since Season 2. It would allow you to see any UAV called in from enemies as well as Black Site and Stronghold UAV pings, even if you did not control them as your own squad. So definitely something that was busted and bugged here. Restock public events should be returning properly soon, where there was an issue with the loot despawning, and a fix for the nuke bomb sites in the Champion Quest Challenge. DMZ likely going to as well be having further AI fixes and balance, but again, adding to the already large list of things that we're expecting to see with the Season 2 Reloaded update beyond just the actual content itself. So that said, that is the new stuff here that was detailed as of recently and some things you should be aware of. So that's what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are you guys looking forward to the most? Anything in particular? Anything that you're hoping to see that was not mentioned in this? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. Season 2 Reloaded upcoming. Fingers crossed it's a decent update here for the games. But until then, we'll have to wait and see. For now, thanks so much for watching. My name is ApexGamingPCs. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.